Laura, Dale, William, would you help me? So my talk title today is Hurry Up and Open Your Gift. Remember when you were little, right? You're like, hurry up, open your gift. Open it up, open it up. You couldn't wait. Somebody's, oh, give it to you. Oh my God, wait, open it up, right? You know how you're so excited? I don't get excited that much anymore. Do you? No, I don't have that because, thank you. It's gone on, I guess, and I'm sure a few of you are just a tad bit older than I am. And you have found that what I wish I could open up under the tree would be a little peace of mind. You know? And everybody, not just for myself, but if I were to open up a gift that I could give you and give everybody, would just start opening up these gifts of wisdom instead of gifts of things. So you know how Oprah has her top 10 Christmas gifts, and what's Oprah going to give? Well, I have just had the staff distribute what I believe should be probably, or could be, one of our top 10 things we want to look for underneath our tree. All right? So for those of you who have a bag, don't look inside yet, but I want whoever has number 1, who has the first bag? There's a 1 on the very top of it. Who's got 1? All right, she's going to tell me what she just got for Christmas, or she may use it for Christmas. Go ahead.
Well, besides wrapping paper, life is what's coming, not what was.
So the first gift would be this, but you don't have to clap, really. That's good. You can wait till the end. We'll do it all at one time, right? Life is what's coming, not what was. I know sometimes I sit and think, well, oh my God, why did I do this? And why did I do it? And did I make a mistake, right? And then I start looking at everyone else's life, and of course they come to me and say, well, I think I made a mistake. And look, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with what was anymore. You can't change what was. You can't unring a bell. You can't unsay something you said to someone. You can't undo those things. You can make amends, you can apologize, things like that. But for the most part, life is not what's coming, or not what was. It's what's coming next. And so you have to look underneath your tree and go, okay, what is next in my life? Do I have a plan for what's next, or am I just going through my day-to-day routine without really any direction? Do I have a direction? Do I have a goal? Do I have something? So my gift to you would be to say, stop looking behind you and keep looking in front of you. I remember Dr. Tom used to say, I think it was Tom, whoever it was, used to say, that's why they make the windshield this big and the rear view mirror this big. You're supposed to spend more time looking out than looking behind. Does that make sense? So instead of a hand mixer or a blender, Stop looking behind you and start looking ahead. And sometimes that can be tough because of things that are going on in the world around us. We get caught up in the world events and what's going on and all the stuff. Give yourself a shot. Take this leap from what was into what is about to come forward. Who has bag number 2? Bag 2, anyone? I know it's out there. There's a 2 on the top of it. Oh, here we go.
It says, if you don't start, it's certain you won't arrive.
Anybody got some closets to clean out? A junk drawer, maybe? Well, let's go bigger. It might not, a garage? No. Let's go bigger than that. If you don't start letting go of the past, your future is not going to arrive unless you want to repeat the past. Your choice. Give yourself the gift of release and start. Whatever the journey is, just take the very first step. I remember in ministerial training, there would be so much stuff that we had to learn. And it would be overwhelming at times. But then Dr. Tom would say, look, do what's in front of you first. You don't have to know step, L and S and Z. You just got to get from A to B. Just get from A to B. Just start. look for C and D, but start walking through A and B. But you have to start. So my gift would be start. Stop talking and start walking the walk. Amen. Stop telling people what you think things the way they should be. Start living from where you want them to be. Because you can't be bitter and angry and expect the rest of the world to be sweet. Anybody know that feeling? Right? You can't do that. You have to be what you want in return. You hear this all the time. If you want to get love, you have to give love. Well, if you don't start, that's never going to come to you. So you can sit in your bitterness and have a pity party and join as many friends as you can to join in the misery, which they will start dwindling away because they don't want to hear it again. Or you can begin to embark upon this new journey. Start. Bag number 3. Who's got bag number 3? Yes, sir. Right up here, William. It's not the Porsche, no. Maybe next year.
You will never have it all together.
Doesn't that feel good? Wouldn't you love it if somebody gave the gift to you and just said, you don't have to have it all together? Because for your whole life, you've been trying to get your stuff together. Once you put it together, something else just happens, right? Have you ever felt like, oh my God, I'm finally here. I've arrived. I'm good. Things are great. I'm excited. Like, I dreamt of this moment my whole life. The man of my dreams, whatever. The woman of my, oh, they're here. And then you got to learn to live with them. And you're like, what the hell was I thinking? You know, you're never going to have it all together. I remember when we were going to, when we were looking to build a family, Trey and I, and we were going to adopt. And, you know, we're like, okay, well, we have to have this in order, and we have to have this in order, and we have to have this in order. I'm like, you know what? No, we don't. Because I don't think there's ever going to be a day where we're going to go, okay, everything is perfect. Now we can start. Start where you are and let the perfection unfold and just let the flaws show up and walk through them. Take the other 2 gifts and keep moving. So when you take these 3 gifts, you start putting them together, you realize I don't have to be all together to move my life forward. Say that. I don't have to be all together to move my life forward. You just have to be present. And you got to release the stuff that's behind you. Next one. Who has, what number are we on? 4? All right, give me number 4. I've got to get through 10 gifts. I've got to do this quick. Not quick, but meaningful.
Sorry, I peeked.
You cheated.
The biggest lie on the planet, when I get what I want, I'll be happy.
So here's a gift for you. Look under the tree, and anytime you've ever believed that when I get what I want, then I'll be happy, just realize that's a big lie. Because once you get what you want, again, you have to grow. You have to expand. You can sit, I remember I sat right here for several years with Dr. Tom. This was my seat. And he would always say to me, he would say on services, he's like, do not get into a shell, because in the word shell is the word hell. So you think you can live there, but eventually that shell becomes your hell because you're going to be trapped by it. So you have to learn to open that up. So don't just think, once I get this thing, I'm going to be happy. Because you can be. I'm not saying don't. Because I was very resentful at the time, because I just like, well, I just had a baby. Well, kind of. I have a 6-month-old baby. I'm the stay-at-home dad. This is all I ever dreamed of. And then they grow up. You think, what was I thinking? No. But I would sit there and go, well, why can't I enjoy my happiness? And he said, I'm not saying that. But leave room for the growth to happen, or it won't happen, and you will feel trapped. How many of you have done that, where you thought, okay, this is everything, I got my all, and then suddenly there's this restlessness, there's this divine urge within you that says, I need to do something differently, I need to expand, I want to do something, I want to change something about my life. It doesn't need to be the same thing anymore. Does that make sense? All right, number 5. Oh, Sheila's got number 5.
Success stops when you do.
That's me.
I bet you want to return the blender now, don't you? You're like, I didn't want to come today. Success stops when you do. Think about it. The second that I stop moving in the direction of my good because of outside events, because of what someone might have told me, what I've heard about myself, what I believed about myself, even though it was written long before I even knew it was imprinted on my brain when I was a child, right? My success stops when I buy into all of that instead of what I'm standing in and my truth in this moment. I am so glad I am not who I was a month ago. I'm so glad the God I believe in isn't the same God that I believed in when I was a kid. Right? Do I hear an amen to that?
Amen.
You know? And it's not about Santa Claus appearing and making everything better. No, it's about success stops as soon as I give up and go, I'm done. And as soon as you do that, you've told the universe, look, this is how it happens. As soon as you tell the universe, I'm done, the universe is going to go, okay, that hose, that the flow of life that was going to you is now going to be kinked up. And you're going to feel the good dry up. And within you, there's going to be this uneasiness. You're like, okay, this is what it means to be done. But you can't break that hose open until you say to yourself, I'm ready to move forward. Christmas is about the birth of the Christ consciousness, the birth of unconditional love, the birth of something that you can take and move it with you. It doesn't matter what religion you are. This is about being in love, expressing that love, and letting it be your light. So success stops when you do. Just know that light is always within you. You may have dimmed it down. And we all have. And you know what? I've gotten to the point where I used to, just don't wallow in it, I'd always say that to myself. And then kind of there are times I'm like, but I want to wallow. I like wallowing. Makes me feel good. People buy you drinks when you're wallowing. Sometimes dinner. But I decided to change my attitude about that. I'm not going to wallow, but I am going to feel what I'm feeling. Some things I can't change. So I'll tell you a personal story. We're going to run a little long because I have to share this. So I was at Robbins Island, which is where Nelson Mandela was held as the prisoner there. And I was walking through, and we had a guide, and the guide was actually in prison with him. And so he was telling us the story. Oh, I know. It was, and I hate to say this, this happened in 1994, 1997, right? And all this stuff was going on, but it was going on over there. And I felt really badly when I was walking through and learning about this stuff. I always knew what apartheid was, and I knew what Nelson Mandela stood for, but I really didn't pay attention to it, right? Because it was over there, and I had a lot more things to do here. So I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't learn enough about it. So I had the unique opportunity to actually learn and be on the soil where this all happened, having a story told to me by someone who experienced it. And it was at that moment I realized, wow, I do need to sit with my discomfort in this, even though I had nothing to do with it. I need to sit in the discomfort of it so I can allow myself to be compassionate and empathetic for those who are going through that. It's not about me going through it. It's about having the compassion and the love to hold the space for people to walk through something. So I don't call it wallowing, but sometimes I need to hold the space for something that didn't go right in my life and in the lives of others, but hold that space as sacred space. So that success can come from that. Happiness, peace of mind can come from that. Does that make sense? All right, next one. What number are we on? 6? We're doing good. All right. Hang on.
What, not me? Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
When your ship comes in, make sure you're willing to unload it.
You remember they used to say, by luck, when my ship comes in, I'll be at the airport. You know, you've heard that before, right? No, when your ship comes in, get ready to do the work. You know? How many times, and some of you in here, I have done this, and I won't look at you because I would name you out. Some of you have been in my office and prayed for a relationship, or prayed for a job, or prayed for health, right? But when it came to actually doing the work, the options presented themselves, but you weren't willing to do the work to experience that which you said you wanted. You know, I always said, when you pray for a house, you don't just pray for a house, because guess what? That house is going to need furniture, and it's going to need maintenance, it's going to need fuel to run it, and it's going to need taxes and insurance. You don't just pray to make one thing, you pray for the whole thing. So don't ever pray for just enough. You have to pray for the and then some, and make sure you're willing to do the work to do it. Give yourself the gift of saying, my ship is in. And when it shows up, when the options show up, start seeing them as such and start moving in with them, leaning in with them. And it's okay if you lean in and make a few mistakes. You know? You don't have to broadcast it. Who here hasn't made a mistake? Rise from your chair and float the hell out of here. Right? My God. I'm starting to love my mistakes, though, because when I make a mistake, usually it's kind of fun. But anyway, all right, number 6, 7, whatever number. What are we at? 7. Way over. I feel like Phil Donahue, right? William's like Phil Donahue. And caller, are you there? Just pull it all out. It'll be in there.
Let's see. Ultimately, takers lose and givers win.
Very nice. Ooh. Right? Let that just sit for just a second. And I guess I should have rephrased that. It's not about winning or losing. It's about who finds happiness. For some reason, I don't know about you in your life, but people who take, they wear you out because they never give back. There's not that reciprocity. And same, there are other people like give, and they never ask to take. They're martyrs. They don't ask for help. I'm one of those people. I do. I give, and when someone wants to give me, I'm like, no, I'm okay. Really, I'm fine. It's embarrassing. I don't want to, no. And I've had to get over that. I've had to learn that there is a balance in that. But ultimately, I need to be giving a hell of a lot more than taking. And no matter who you are, no matter what your situation is, we're blessed to be in this moment. Not everything might be working perfectly in your life, and I have news for you. As soon as one works perfectly, the dishwasher breaks down. Whatever it is, right? That's just life. You have to accept and flow with it. But when you give of yourself, you give of your time, you give of your talent, you give of your treasure, whatever it is, whatever you do to give, just know when you give, you put your hands out there, and that means there's a receptivity on your point to receive and take, if you will. But if I don't give, if all I do is do this, there's never an opportunity for me to do this, and people will get tired of you going, give me, fix it. Do you know who I'm talking about? You may have married them, or one of them is your children. Keep going. They may be your ex, whatever that is. We all have those, right? All right, let's go for number 9. 8.
It's a ticket from Walmart for $195. When things go wrong, don't go with them.
When things go wrong, don't go with them. WebMD can be your biggest enemy. You know what I'm talking about? I have something going wrong, some ailment, some physical ailment. What's the first thing I do? I get on WebMD, and next thing you know, I have talked myself into having some chronic condition, and I'm looking for specialists, and basically it's a hangnail, right? So like I chipped my nail. But oh my God, I need an orthopedic surgeon to help fix this. When your relationships go wrong, don't go with them. What do they say? When the blind lead the blind, they both end up in the ditch. Someone needs to take the higher watch. That doesn't mean you have to acquiesce. That doesn't mean you have to, always be the one who feels like the doormat. But you have to really throw the gauntlet down too. What's the upside in that? What is the upside in continuing a battle? If you take the time to say, this is what's going wrong, I'm not going to go with this, how can I change this? Not how you can change. I have a list of how you can change. And chances are, you've probably given that person that list a gazillion times. And they're no longer hearing you anyway. All they hear is, wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. And they're like, make it stop. When things go wrong, don't go with them. When your health goes wrong, and when it's taking a turn, don't become the illness. Don't become those things. They may be moving through you, but they're moving through you. Right? Don't become them. If your relationship is upside down, don't remain upside down. One of you has to stand rightly and go, let's talk about this. We can do this. Now, that doesn't mean you have to stay married to them. I'm just saying, with your kids, with your marriage, with your friends, whatever that is, make the effort to be the love that was born on Christmas Day. Supposedly, I wasn't there. Dr. Tom was, maybe Annie. I'm not sure. You were there, too. Poor Annie. Annie has been here for how many years? 37 years in this seat. Annie's here for 37 years. One of our practitioners. Her and Dr. Tom used to hang out with Moses. It was cool. Say that with me, please. When things go wrong, don't go with them. Say it again. When things go wrong, don't go with them. Okay? Next one. What number are we on? 9. Do I have 10 or 9?
You have 10.
Oh, do I? Number 9.
Number 9.
And we're right on time, so good.
Now is the most interesting time of all.
You got that right. Now is. As much as we would love to look at the past and live from there, that's not going to do any good for us. But right now, first of all, you've never been as young as you're going to be. This is the youngest you're ever going to be today. Right? Got news for it. Only Cher can reverse that process. Between her and Dolly, but look at them. They're like 150 years old, and they're the top 2 songs on the TV. Really, think about that. They're the top 2 songs out there. These women that are anyway, never mind. But now is the most interesting time. You've never had as much wisdom as you have today. You've never had as much experience than you have today. You've never put up with more stuff than you have up till today. Today, I hate to say this, and I hate to say it. I'm excited to say it. This is your peak. And you're going, no! This is what peak looks like. I don't want to be in peak anymore. But now, you've never had the gifts that you, look, this is it. Now, where you take them from here is going to be up to you. Where you take your wisdom and where you take these ideas that we shared today and where you take what you learn at the center here today, whatever happens, whatever you take out there with you, it becomes part of your growth process. So you are at a brand new place today. You can, if you choose, take any one of these gifts and use them, and I promise you, I can guarantee you this, whatever gift or gifts you choose to use, you will see a change in your life. Because once you see it, accept it, believe it, and start living from it, the universe will conspire to create it and give you everything that you need to experience it. And you don't have to know the if or the how, but you're just going to know it's not if or how, it's when, and I'm going to keep walking until I demonstrate it. Okay? So you don't stop. Because now is the most, think about this whole Amazon thing. I can get on Amazon and need some Comet to clean my sink, right? And it's raining out, and I'm like, I don't want to go out in the rain. An hour later, knock, 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 and my Comet's there. Look at what we live in today. I didn't have to get on a donkey and ride 7 hours to go to a general store. I went like this. Boom, there it is. We live in the most interesting time, and oh my God, don't go down the AI intelligence thing. Oh my God, that is a spiral. Don't go down there. I'm telling you, just watch it from afar. Let's trust other people to make, because all I do is I can't sleep when I start thinking about it. But think about what a time we live in. It doesn't get better than this because you've never been better than this, so keep doing it and moving into that direction. Now is the most interesting time of all. And you know this. You're about 99 years old. Yeah. You are. Mm-hmm. Stand up here. In February, she's going to be 99 years old. And look at you. Now, 99 years ago, life was really different, wasn't it? A hell of a lot different, right? And would you want to go back to that? Like 99 years ago? No. I'm sure there were times that you want to go back and visit because they were really nice, but for the most part, you got to kind of love the evolution of the way things have changed, right? Yeah, and they're rapid, and sometimes I know I feel behind the curve because I'm not good with, I have a smart house. We bought a house, and it's a smart house, and I realized I'm not smart. Go ahead, sit down. I'm not smart, because you're supposed to talk to it, and I can't do that. So things change, but you wouldn't go back to you wouldn't really want to go back to, I want to go back to some of the Christmases I had as a kid, because I fantasize about them, right? But I can't go back. All I can do is create something for this year with me and my family. Now is the most interesting time of all. Is there another bag out there? 10. All right. One last one. Are you guys okay? Perfect. So, does it feel like you got a couple gifts today to take home? There's nothing on it?
There's nothing here.
That's on purpose. You know why that is? No, that is. You know why? You get to write it. You write it. You can combine the things that were said today. You can write something new, but the last one was supposed to be blank because it's yours. Be that individual that you've always been, express the way you've been expressing, and make it bigger and make it more loving and make it more joyful. And you know what? If you can take any of these ideas, any of them at all, just one of them, just one, and find a little peace of mind this season by just applying one of these ideas, then this was a great gift. this was a good hour. Because you had the chance right now to take one of those ideas and start looking at something a little bit differently. And again, you know this, when I look at things differently, things begin to change. They won't do it until I start looking at it with different eyes. They're going to remain the same. But once I change, it begins to change. It's been really nice talking to you today. And I will see you Wednesday. I'll probably close with the prayer, but I will see you on Wednesday for candlelight because that's going to be another, I love candlelight. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have great music. The time is wrong on that. I did that. That's my fault. The time is 6. Say everybody 6. 6. Not 6:30.